MetroScapes Art Contest is a program started by Metro Arts in Transit to beautify neighborhoods where Metro operates. Joining us from Metro Arts in Transit are Director David Allen and Chairman Tim Boyle. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So I always love it when we talk about the arts, whether that's performing arts, visual arts, and in this case it's really special because it's public art. And there's a real sort of understated but important role I think public art plays in our community. It really sort of neutralizes things, brings us all together, and that's kind of what we're here to talk about, but in one specific program. But let's talk more broadly about public art. Maybe we can start off just what do you feel is the importance of having public art, especially in locations for transit here in the St. Louis community?
Well, Arts in Transit's job is to enhance the experience for the riders. And so this program spreads that out for local artists to have an opportunity to participate and have their work shown on Metro lines and Metro rails.
Okay, well, let's get into the sort of the details of it. First, maybe we'll set the stage for Arts in Transit. People have heard about it. They hear Metro in front of it, so they know there's a connection. But explain more what Arts in Transit actually does.
We have a number of different programs. The Metro Link system was under design in 1986, and a group of local art supporters insisted that artists be involved in the design of the original system. And I was an art administrator back on the West Coast when this was happening, and heard about it all the way out there that St. Louis was doing something very unusual. This is the largest, it was the largest infrastructure project to that date that involved artists working with architects and engineers in the essence of the design of the project. We have continued that over the years, integrating artists' work into our facilities. MetroScapes is a kind of an offshoot of that. We have MetroScapes, which is our poster competition. We have Metro Lines, which is our poetry competition. We do art buses. We engage local artists to design buses that partnering with various local nonprofit organizations like the museum, like Earth Day, like a number of different great organizations here in St. Louis. So we have a number of different things that we do.
That's good. And I know I was talking to you before we started this interview about some of the big people, not necessarily at the bus stops, but public art in general that a lot of people know throughout the St. Louis area. What's unique about this with MetroScapes is it really engages local artists. Is that right, Tim? And I want to kind of talk about the importance that you feel. You're on the board, chairman
Sure. Yeah.
of the
there
board.
we go.
What's really the importance of sort of engaging local artists?
Well, local artists are attached to the community, obviously. Artists are givers. They want to enhance their environment. They want to enhance the community that they're a part of, and important components of the community, such as transit. So when the artists, the local artists have friends, have networks, there's a sense of pride that comes out for them, and it also enhances, there's a sense of pride with the artists, but there's also a sense of pride for that artist community.
Well, let's just make it clear so people know what they're looking at, and maybe we can talk about that, David. When we talk about this contest, tell us how MetroScapes works. You put out a call for nominations or submissions, and then what happens?
Well, we have a web portal called Submittable, and artists can submit up to 3 images through this portal. And this last round, I think we received somewhere about 175 different images, I think from about 75 different artists. And we put together a panel that make the selection. And the panel's made up of artists, arts administrators, museum people, occasionally myself. And so we go through all the images and we select those images that kind of best fit the criteria that we have established. And essentially, the images have to be fit for public consumption, so to speak, but also image clarity so they can be read from a distance, because oftentimes, these posters go up in bus shelters, so they're seen not only by our riders that are using the shelters, but also drive-bys. People drive by and they can see it. We look for images that, there's no specific definition of what we're looking for, but we want work that's engaging, that is thought-provoking, that is moving in some way.
Well, I'm really excited to actually talk to one of those award winners when we come back.
Yes.
But right now, we've got the information there for you on the screen. Head over to artsintransit.org. You can actually see the winning artwork on the website. I was checking it out earlier before the segment started. Some really beautiful works there. And as David mentioned, there are over 200 locations that they're located at. But stay with us at STL Live. We're going to have more with MetroScapes and Metro Arts in Transit right after this break.